Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Wayne's World of Science and Technology. Today, we're going to look at Russia and the oil market. A lot of Ukrainian hits recently have been targeting the Russian oil sector, and I don't think people understand exactly why it's having such an impact. Fuel usage is relatively inelastic. If you need gas to get to work, you have to buy it. If you need gas to transport your goods to market, you have to buy it, or diesel, whatever. The point is that you need this. Cutting Russian supplies by, last I heard, about 15%. It may only be 14, it may be 13, it may be 16, who knows. But cutting it even by 5% starts putting pressure on the system, because the system just isn't designed to handle that sort of a quick drop. And what we're going to see over a period of time, and what we are seeing right now, is fuel prices in Russia rising, massive lineups to get fuel when they can, and in general, a degradation of how the Russian system can function. If you don't have fuel, you don't have energy. In this case, gasoline or diesel or any hydrocarbon is basically energy stored in a convenient form that you can transport. If you don't have that energy, you can't do anything. And this lack of energy is starting to cripple the Russian economy. Now, I said starting, I have no idea how long this will take. It might be a month, it might be 6 months. But every time the Ukrainians hit an oil refinery, they basically put more stress on the Russian system. This is basically the only way the war is going to end. The war isn't going to end, in this particular case, on the battlefield. Well, okay, it is, but it's not going to end on the battlefield until the ability of one side or the other is completely exhausted. Now, there's several ways you can exhaust the other side. One way is by wiping out all their soldiers. Another is by wiping out their energy system so that they have nothing to operate with. The Ukrainians appear to have gone with the energy system because, well, quite frankly, it's a lot easier to target an oil refinery than it is an individual soldier. Oil refineries are bigger. So that's where we're sitting. As I said, I don't know exactly how bad this will impact the Russian economy. I know it's having an impact, yes, I can tell that, going by Russian news sources. But how much is it actually, how much damage is it actually doing? The Russians have decided to try and hide as much in the way of economic data as possible, so we really don't know. We can only go by anecdotal evidence, what we see in Russian newspapers, and yes, I spend time reading Russian newspapers, what we see in Russian telegram groups, and yes, I spend time reading them. The data we've got is so scant, it's really hard to tell. I mean, I know it's having an impact. I can tell you that. I can't tell you precisely how much. And I can't tell you how many more refineries Ukraine has to take out before it actually seizes the system up. But if they take out enough refineries, eventually it will seize up the Russian system. Fuel, energy is how you operate. Anyway, that's it for now, folks. Have a nice day. Like, share, subscribe if you got anything out of it, and have a good day. Bye-bye.